Well, let's see if this is the comeback of this channel. Um, so I sold most of my collection. Um, I'll just go ahead and go with the fragrances that I kept and the fragrances I wasn't able to sell, and then afterwards I will tell you guys why I sold everything. And let's just say it turned out to be better than I expected. Um, so I'm just gonna go ahead and grab. I don't even know how many I have. I would say about 20. Um, so let's go ahead and pick. I will also let you guys know what I miss out of my entire collection. So, Ingenious Ginger. This is one I decided to keep. It's a scent DNA that I enjoy. I knew it would be a really easy sell if I decided to sell it, so I kind of just left it as, if I really had to, I'll get rid of it. But fortunately, I was fine. Next up is Louis Vuitton's clone of Louis Vuitton, Ombre Nomad by Maison Alhambra. So I'm happy I definitely kept this one. I don't know if they're starting to do reformulations or they just changed the names. But this one, still love this fragrance. It's one I knew I was going to get rid of, just with how good it is. Next is going to be Fire Your Desire by Amir, which is a clone of Angel Share. So another really good one. This one I could not let go of just because it reminded me of moving here to Buffalo. This is actually one of the last fragrances that I got in Florida before I moved here. I actually had to go. I think I said it in the channel before, but I was about to go to the train. My package got delayed to the next day, which was the day I was leaving. I was leaving early in the morning. I scheduled my package for pickup instead, so I went and picked it up at a UPS. So it was actually Fire Your Desire and You're Drugged, which is a clone of Killian's Intoxicated. Very happy that I did decide to keep this one. But I'm going to try to speed things up just because this is going to be a pretty long video if I take my time. Next, this one I just could not sell, Galatea, which is a clone of Godolphin, I believe, which I don't mind. Either way, though, most I would have gotten from it is $10. Still a really good fragrance. I don't really care about that. More clones. So I got Woody Oud by Maison Alhambra and Tobacco Touch. We all know I couldn't let that Tobacco Touch go. Happy I kept these. Happy I kept the clones, honestly. I didn't keep that many clones. Well, it looks like I kept a lot now, but you know what? Looking at it now, it's kind of like 50-50. I kind of like kept 50-50 clones. I mean, I couldn't really be selling for much anyways. Immortal was another one I did not sell. It would have been an easy sell. Still one I did not sell. It's still a really good scent. All right. So, the obvious ones I cannot get rid of. Valentino Rockstead Noir, because we know this is the number one for my girlfriend. And Gucci Guilty Eau de Parfum. We know if I would have sold these, it would have probably been the end of me entirely. So good thing I didn't sell those. One I could not sell just because of how it's one of the fragrances I've always had. Dolce & Gabbana, the one, Eau de Parfum. Dior Homme Intense, I did not sell. This is another one I knew I would have gone quick. I kind of decided to keep the Dior's at the end. So I was going to keep the Dior's, just keep the Dior collection. And if I would have sold everything else, I would have just sold everything else. But I actually ended up selling Dior Homme 2020. Out of the four, it was my least favorite. Didn't reach for it that often. Reached more for the Sport, which is a really good fragrance. And it smells pretty similar, but I do prefer the Sport over Dior Homme 2020. I don't know if that was the case when I was still doing this channel, but right now that is the case. And of course, still on my number one is going to be Dior Homme Cologne. That one, if I sold this one, like I told Neil, I would have been in the trenches. But kept this one also. Silver Scent by Jacques Bogart, or Jock Bogart. Really good fragrance. Another fragrance my girlfriend loves, so it is why I decided to keep it. Also, it's really cheap, so if I would have sold it, I would have lost the money in shipping. This one, I am not sure if it was a part of the video. I was waiting for this one for a while. It's going to be Acqua di Gio Parfum, Eau de Parfum. I was waiting for this fragrance for so long. Joe Michel took forever to ship it. And with the hotter weather coming, I decided to keep it. Another easy sell if I really wanted to or needed to. Another one, I don't know if I had it when I had the channel. It's going to be Dolce & Gabbana King Eau de Toilette. This is actually really good. I don't know why it got that much hate or why it's really hated, or at least I have perceived it as a really hated fragrance, but I actually think it's really good. It made it. It didn't get cut. Really good. I'm happy. That's actually one of the ones that I was most surprised about. Another one that I just decided to keep because it's so cheap is Drakkar Intense. And we know I needed at least some kind of fougere in my collection. So that's why I decided to keep this one. And I think I got a few more, maybe like 4 more. Oh, 4. This is Rocky. This is the fragrance I made. Obviously, I was going to sell this one. This is a 101. I don't even remember what the notes are. Who knows? Next is Sauvage Eau de Parfum. Another one that it's like 50% full. It reminds me of when I first started my fragrance journey type of thing. So I definitely didn't want to sell that one. And 2 more. Spice Bomb. I actually kept Spice Bomb. It's a cheap fragrance. Another one that I was like, if I don't move it or if I need it, I'll sell it. And lastly, I mean, it just worked out that I kept this one for last. Intoxicated by Kilian. Of course, I could not sell this fragrance. This is my favorite fragrance out of my entire collection. And that is it for the ones I do have in here. So, what happened? Why did I sell all my fragrances? Was it worth it? How much did I make? So, I sold my fragrances because my girlfriend is going to nursing school. That means that she can't work, especially because she's going to be, she's in school all the time. We just moved here to Buffalo, just moved here. She had a good job. I also have a good job, but it was to the point that we spent a lot moving here, weren't really too comfortable with just myself working, even though we just wanted to be safe about it. So I don't know how many fragrances I sold. Most of them were sold in bulk, so I did save more on shipping. I ended up selling about $4,500 worth of fragrances. So after selling all those fragrances, we looked at the cars. We didn't need 2 cars anymore. So I drive a Mustang. She drove an Audi. Her payment were closer. Her car was closer to having a payoff. So we did use money from the fragrances to pay off her car, which saved us about $900 for the month. So that kind of replaced or made the income part a little bit more comfortable. We're not really, she's not really driving that much, going to school and back. Not many expenses other than that, just groceries. So we did cut down on groceries. And I still had money left over. So I will be showing you guys something soon. I will probably be making more videos. My collection, I mean, it's pretty decent right now. There might be more. So I decided to just take it as, when we found out I had way too much, I went overboard and sold way more than I needed. Oh, and another thing is, just keep in mind, she just can't work through the summer. So we were gonna try to just let her not work at all. But then you could get jobs while you're in school at the hospital, so it works. So that's why we decided to do that. So I sold way too many fragrances that I pretty much shouldn't have. The ones that I do miss Xerjoff Aurum. That one was a tough one to let go. I do miss, let me think. I do miss Apple Brandy. And what's off the top of my mind? Vertus Vanilla Oud is another one I do miss. But these three fragrances aren't even fragrances I could wear during the summer, spring. If I wanted to pick them back up, I could. I don't think it's something I'm in a hurry for, but yeah, so these are the fragrances I ended up with. I don't remember how many fragrances I had, nor how many I sold. If you want to go back to that video and count them all, feel free, but I'm not going to. And I Pacha de Cartier Parfum, that was another one. I wasn't reaching for it that much, and that one was towards the end. And let me think if there's anything else. I don't think there's any other fragrance that I really missed, but I also had such a big collection that I didn't really try anything. I would wear something once, twice, maybe 3 times, and that fragrance would go back, not be used for a while. So I'm happy I did this. It's kind of like restarting, and it's restarting but being more strategic, especially with clones. So I know there's some things I've purchased already, and it is not clones. There is some cheapies, but everything is pretty decent investments that I have made. And you'll see. I mean, it's not nothing crazy, but it did take me to here. Like, I got rid of a lot, cleaned out pretty much. This is what I really do like in these, and let's go ahead and start over. Work out what I really want. Fragrance. If I can't afford it, just hold off a little bit and save, buy the fragrance. Sell another fragrance to get one fragrance, things like that. So I will make a follow-up video. I just don't think I'm going to be doing the posting every day thing again, just because I got a comment that it seemed like the videos portrayed that I was burnt out. I wasn't burnt out. I just I was running out of ideas. I feel like if you're constantly cycling it every day, I could try if that's something you guys want to see, but I could also just do one every other day. I did graduate. That's another thing. So I did graduate with my bachelor's in business management. I believe I was on the president's list on my last semester. I was on it a few times, the president's list or the dean's list. But that's a cool thing. I've gone out and done a little bit more photography. So for the guys the people that do know that I do photography, I'll put some pictures up on the screen of some of the work I've done. In the meantime, and keep in mind this is local in New York, that I didn't travel anywhere. This was maybe like an hour, 2-hour drive. So I'll put those pictures up on the screen if you guys want to take a look at them. But that is all. I am back. Happy to be back. I miss it. I was itching to do fragrance content. I just didn't know how to cycle through these. I don't want to be redundant. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna end this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.